Alright. Hey, how are you? My name's Kiana.
I'm Lana, and we're your Misled Girls.
Back again.
And today, we want to talk about the documentary Dark Girls.
On OWN.
That just premiered on OWN. We on Twitter we saw, and on Instagram we saw a lot of people had different feelings about it. So we wanted to share some of our feelings. Well, how did you feel watching the whole piece?
I thought it was nice. I think it was a few points that they didn't hit, but it was a lot of things that they did cover.
What me and Kiana noticed was the little girl they had in the beginning.
So cute.
She was adorable, and her mother was talking to her about, you know, how she felt about her skin color, and she said she didn't want to be called black because she wasn't black. And one of the things that we both noticed, and I don't think I really liked, was that she was even there for a lot of that conversation.
Yeah.
Because her mom was talking about some things that I don't even know if she realized were happening to her. Like, I know she probably felt like she was being ostracized on the playground and around different kids that were lighter. Maybe she felt left out, but I don't know if she knew that that was colorism.
Right. And now because it was set in front of her, now she's internalizing it and thinking of it now.
Yeah.
And she's so young. I mean...
Yeah, we should address it and it should be talked about, but I think that in front of her right there, it should have been, you know, why don't you think you're beautiful? And then, okay, you are beautiful, and positive reinforcement. And then you step out of the room, and then mom, let's talk to mom about,
right.
You know. So in terms of the directing, I don't know what the resources they had, but I think that could have been done better. Was there anything else that stuck out to you?
As far as cons?
Yeah, anything, good or bad?
Well, a con, and this had nothing to do with the director, but it's just the guy in general saying that the dark-skinned girl next to him, it just didn't look right. I mean, if dark-skinned girls isn't your preference, fine, but I mean, to say she doesn't look right, I just didn't think that. But I get it, because you want to speak to people and it's real, and that's what he really thinks. But
a lot of the people, the men in particular, when they did the whole section on men on women, it was kind of ignorant, a lot of it. And I think that it's okay to show ignorance, but where was the balance? And you did have the scholars that they talked to, but on the regular man on the street kind of interviews, you had the one guy who was in the subway, who said, you know, dark-skinned women are beautiful.
And then the one guy from Africa.
Oh, the one guy from Africa, him too. And not to say that the people that said that dark-skinned women are beautiful are more scholarly than the other one. That's not what I was looking for you to say.
Right.
I was just looking for your opinion to have some kind of basis that made sense, I guess.
Right, because the guy who was vegetarian...
Like, he said, he's like, you know, dark-skinned women are more pure and they're organic. I'm a vegetarian.
And when you hug a dark-skinned girl, it feels better against your skin.
But he admitted that he was being ignorant.
Yeah,
he admitted I was a little ignorant. So, I'm glad that they showed that. But,
alright, so let's talk about the pros.
Okay.
Alright, so pros.
It was a pro that Oprah showed it on her network. I think that was a major pro, because whether or not we agreed and whether or not we thought it needed to be expanded on or more things needed to be talked about, they showed it on a major network and it got a lot of viewership. So I think that's a huge pro.
Yeah, that is definitely a pro.
I mean, we're sitting here talking about it, so it's a pro.
Like always.
But it wasn't just in the African American community. There's colorism in Jewish cultures, Korean, which I was shocked.
Yeah, the one girl, you couldn't even tell that she was darker than a lot of Koreans that I do see on a daily basis, and she definitely saw it. It stuck out to her when she went to her homeland. So that was interesting. It was interesting that in Africa, the top seller is skin color lightening, and it's like, in Africa, I would think that for your skin to be dark is natural, and everybody, it's just a way of life. But I mean,
it boils down to white around the world globally is superior, and it's better no matter what. The lighter you are, so it doesn't just affect now in America. I think it affects us, you know, more maybe than other races. But when the Korean girl was talking about her experiences, I was looking at it like, what? Like, you don't
like they actually thought that her father was black.
But I think that's how people look at us. Some, like, other races may look at us like, what do you mean? Like, you're no more beautiful or less beautiful than this light-skinned girl or this dark-skinned girl.
Right. They said in the documentary, before black people, before we was talking about beauty, we were nothing here in America. So now that we're granted beautiful, it's like, oh, she's beautiful because she's
right,
you know, lighter than that person. But we didn't even have access to humanism at all. So
like a solution, like when you want to talk about what is a solution to colorism, and it's like we need to get back to that we're people. And no matter what you look like, we're all people. And I know one of the girls touched on the fact that's like if the Ku Klux Klan rode through here, they wouldn't say light skin, dark skin, like it's black, 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 and everybody, you know, is going. So at the end of the day, and at the root of it, we're just people.
Right, and then what they said is like our race is so segmented. Mm-hmm. We don't have a real culture at times.
A pure person.
Yeah,
who's the purest of anyone. Everyone is mixed. So I think the most important thing to teach to our children is that you are a human being, and like India, I know they talked about it on there. It's like you're the soul that lives within. That's not this stuff isn't real. It's who you are. It's who you're born into, and it's going to be a part of your character. Obviously, races, especially in America. But at the end of the day, we need to look at people as people, and I think that's going to be one of the most progressive things in getting past colorism, racism, discrimination.
I agree.
I know one of the things that one of the guys said on the documentary was the points of pride in our race. We'll have a moment where it's keep your head up, brown girl, and the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. They don't last though. It's like and I think right now we're actually going through that. Yeah,
I do. It's like,
but is this going to last, and who's going to keep it going?
Right.
I don't know. It's like it's an individual thing. I think colorism and internalizing your own beauty, no matter what you look like and what shade you are, because to keep it going, it has to keep it going within yourself, and then you will hope that that will keep it going within everybody. Do you think that this documentary captured the dark girl experience?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watching it a second time, I think I feel differently about it than when I watched it the first time, because the first time I kind of felt it was a little exclusive and there was a focus on how men felt about dark girls, but then watching the second time I did see how they segmented it off, and it was different sections of how men feel, how women feel.
Yeah, and I also think that I'm glad that it's two black men who produced it, because I feel like ultimately, I mean, this isn't how it should be, but it feels like the way black men feel about black women is how we kind of.
And they said that on there. He said the guy, he said it shouldn't be. He said you should not allow a black man to define how you feel as a black woman. And I think that message was the strongest, most powerful message in the film. It was like, because I had to check myself, like, you know what? That's true. You should not allow a black man to determine how you feel about yourself, or any man or any woman. It should be, you should be able to tap into that beauty yourself. But it's hard when you are born into a society that tells you that dark is bad and light is right. We're not all. That's the reality of it. Is we come from different classes and different environments, but this issue goes through each one of them, and that's the thing that I think they were trying to show, and I think they did a good job of showing that. So.
I think I loved it. In a nutshell,
I liked it. I hope that we're able to do more things like that, and it opens the dialogue. And
we actually did. Our first show on Misled is about colorism, and if you can just
scroll on up, and you can see the first episode of Misled on colorism on miccheck12.com/misled anytime. And we talk about these kind of issues and how they affected us, and dark girls
and dark men. And light men and light girls.
So this was our commentary on dark girls. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Say resurrection, a